Morning, everyone. I am definitely team no makeup this morning. And I shouldn't say makeup because I really don't wear makeup. Generally I will put on a little bit of lipstick, just to kind of show off a little bit. My lip gloss is popping. But this morning, I first and foremost want to reach out to Mr. LP, aka Steven Sites of Enliven Radio, which is presented on Legacy Internet Radio, for having Motivational Brown Girls on yesterday evening. It was a very, very, very dynamic conversation, such that the conversation turned into a very emotional conversation. And I'll just give you a little recap if you didn't tune in last night. We talked a great deal about the police shootings, but I think the emotion came because we talked more or less about Black people and us healing and coming together as the human race. It's ironic that the police shooting took place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And if you think back to Tulsa in the 1920s, Black Wall Street was there. And I'm not going to get into a lot about Black Wall Street, but I want you to Google it. You Google everything else, so Google it. Read up on Black Wall Street. And I'm disturbed this morning though, because I think about the debate, and I'm not going to talk too much about the debate. Good morning, Tanya. I see your message. Good morning. I think about the debate, and I think about the simple fact that we are in a sad situation. Look at who we have running for president. Donald Trump, a con artist, and we have Hillary Clinton, who, as a kid, I thought the Clintons were just awesome. But as I have grown and learned more about the political administrative dichotomy, I now find that I'm disturbed even with the Clintons. I'm still thinking about Donald Trump talking about stop and frisk and more law and order. And when I think about him wanting to make America great again, I think about Donald Trump wanting to take us back to the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And the reason I say the 40s and 50s and 60s, because I feel like making America great again in his eyes is taking us back to a time before civil rights, before Black people really, and people, I'm going to say people of color. I don't want to say Black people because I'm getting a bit sick and tired of every time we discuss police shootings and protesting, it's always, well, you guys have affirmative action, or you guys have this and you guys have that. It's not about what Black people have. It's about the human race. It's about being included. But I think we messed up when we fought for inclusion. I think we messed up when we fought for inclusion. I think we messed up when we fought for inclusion simply because I want you to look back at your parents and your grandparents. I want you to look at the school pride that they had in their segregated schools. Kids of today are suffering. Have you ever thought about why in schools today you take African American history as an elective? Think about it. See, so while we protesting and taking a stance for transgendered bathrooms and all that foolery, see, we need to be protesting and taking a stand for African American history to be a core class. See, students should have the choice to take Virginia and U.S. history or African American history. Students should have a choice to take world history and geography or African American history. African American history should not be an elective, because what you're telling me by making African American history an elective is that it's not a part of history. Because if it was a part of history, Number one, it would be a SOL. It would be a Common Core standard. And I don't mean just a part or a substandard of a Common Core standard. I mean African American history would be a standard. Wake up. Wake up, ladies and gentlemen. I must say this. I am not anti-white, but I'm pro-black. That's all I know. I have awesome Caucasian friends and family. And the interesting thing is that we have these same conversations. Sad to say, I couldn't have this conversation openly with some people that I don't know. It's sad when you're worried about being shot down in the streets, but you also go on the job with a barrel in your face. Just think about it. Think about it. One of the first forums that Motivational Brown Girls did was entitled, "Is Bad Employment Worse on Your Mental Health Than Unemployment?" Is bad employment worse on your mental health than unemployment? Think about it, guys. We got to wake up. We got to wake up, and we really got to figure out, what are we fighting for? We have to determine what we want. Do we really want equity or equality? Because it's two different things. Equity or equality. Look up the definitions. I can't tell you everything. Equity or equality. Should African American history be a core class? Should African American history be a core class? Guys, we got to wake up. You know, it's interesting that as I hold this broadcast, I don't know if you can see, but there was a police car sitting right. And you know, now when I'm driving and I see a police car pulling someone over, or with someone pulled over on the side of the road, I started to slow down, y'all. I started slowing down. And I started slowing down because I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I started slowing down because I have relatives and close friends who are in law enforcement. I have relatives and close friends who are in law enforcement who speak out. But then I have those individuals who, because they are in law enforcement, feel that certain loyalty to the gang. Good morning, Keontae. To the gang, to the system. And you know, street code, don't snitch. What about the police? Loyalty. Loyalty. Good morning, butterfly. Loyalty. At what point do you breach your loyalty to your organization? At what point do you breach your loyalty to your organization and look inside of here and figure out, am I doing what's right for man, or am I doing what's right for my inner core? Because ultimately, when you leave this world, I don't care what you believe in, you're going to be held accountable. And the hard thing for me is trying to become spiritually mature and seeing everything that's going on around me and having to constantly tell myself they will get it on Judgment Day. Because see, the flesh, I want to see them get it right now. I want to see child molesters be molested. I'm sorry. My flesh wants to see those who are murdering people be murdered themselves. My flesh wants to see the firing squads come back. My flesh wants to see an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. My flesh wants to see people that steal get their hands cut off. Public shame. You went to Jamestown as a kid. They took us all to Jamestown. They didn't take us to Montgomery, Alabama. They didn't take us to Atlanta, Georgia. They didn't take us to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Did they? No. But you went to Jamestown. You went to Williamsburg. You saw how people's heads were put through holes in their hands. And they were bowing down before their head. They were decapitated. Wake up, people. Wake up. You know, I'm in a workshop for the next 2 days. And the workshop is for exceptional education. And you know, someone approached me a few days ago. And they said to me, you know, my child has some issues. With memory. So, you know, I haven't had anything formally done, you know, but I need your help, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I look at how many students and the demographics of students who are deemed exceptional ed. Publicly labeled as exceptional ed, I shall say. And then I look at how when I was in elementary and middle school, it was special education. And those students who were gifted, such as yours truly, were sent to another side of town for academically gifted program, which I tell people all the time that being in that program scarred me for life. Scarred me for life. And I'll talk about that at another time. But now that the term has been changed from special education to exceptional education, gifted students are included. Why? Because what we found was that gifted students exhibit some of the same negative social behaviors as students who you once called SPED, special ed, slow, issues, emotionally disturbed. Do you see what happens? Do you see what happens? Do you see that whenever mainstream begins to intersect with anything outside of the norm, what happens? What happens? It's changed. Policy's changed. Now, the state of North Carolina, who seemingly will be endorsing Donald Trump, the state of North Carolina is now, in a few days, October 1st, enacting legislation which will justify not releasing body cam footage to the public. If y'all can't see what's going on, then you're blind. Love is blind, and it'll take over your mind. That's what Eve said. I need you guys to wake up. I need you to start to educate the babies. Educate our babies. Educate them on what's real. Educate them on what's just. But educate them on the truth. Tell the kids of today, the system is not fair. You can work hard all of your life. You will not get your fair share. You will not get your fair share. And the saddest thing is that what I'm finding is that your own people will set you up for failure and put you in situations where they know there will be issues. I worry. I worry. This is probably the longest live feed I've done on my morning travels to work. But as you can see, I'm stationed because I'm outside of this beautiful infrastructure that I will be in a workshop for the next 2 days for exceptional education. But I know my heart is going to be thinking about all of the social ills of the world. I see Bertram tuned in. How are you? And with him tuning in, I want to say this. We have to support black business. Women, we have to support woman-owned business. But I'm going to say this to black business owners. Get your practice up. Get your business practice up. I cannot support you if you're not adequately answering emails and phone calls. You're price gouging. And I understand goods and services cost. But let's not price gouge. Let's not price gouge. Let's do things fair. You know, I know that when you're a small business owner, your fees for goods and services are going to be a little bit higher. I get that. But just make sure that your product is truly worth the price that you're charged. Okay? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. I will support black business. Motivational Brown Girls, that's a part of our platform. You know, our platform is to inform the people, which I'm informing you now of some things. Educate the people. I'm educating you now on some things. But to motivate and inspire you guys to become agents of change and not just sit around and talk about it, to be about it. Stop getting in positions of power and playing the game, going along just to get along. Stop stepping on your brothers and sisters just to get to the top. Why can't we just have one chief? Because see, what you guys fail to realize is that when you have too many chiefs and not enough Indians, you're setting yourself up for failure. You need few chiefs because the chiefs need to be getting the ultimate plan in order while the Indians are bringing the plan to fulfillment. Great day to you also, Bonita, and hi Tammy and Robert for tuning in. Guys, we gotta build up our black economy. Stop supporting Michael Jordan. I'm guilty of it. But see, I'm guilty of supporting him when his shoes are $39.99 at DTLR versus paying $200 for his shoes. See, my mom and dad didn't raise me on Jordans and Rockaware and Baby Fat. Let's go back to FUBU. For us, by us. I'm even skeptical about Baby Fat. Wake up. Become entrepreneurs. But sit down and be strategic about it. Don't just say, I want to sell ink pens. I want to sell designer ink pens. Be strategic about it. Do some research and look at what's necessary. I'm going to fall back because I need to get my mind mentally prepared for my career. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for listening, and you'll hear more from me.